Peva, 86b3 at the bottom, the Mishnah. We didn't learn for a while, so we're going to just go back to the Mishnah where we start this whole thing. Okay, Pevav Amid Beis, one line. No, the first is the wide lines. The Mishnah says like this. The Mishnah is talking about the punishment of chenek strangulation. The Mishnah is going through all the various people that got strangulated for committing their Avedas. So one of them is a Zokin Mamre. What's a Zokin Mamre? A sage that rebelled against all the other Chachamim. Okay, Pevav Amid Beis. First to the wide lines. So it says, Zokin Mamre, the din of a Zokin Mamre, Al Pi Bezdin, it rebels against the big Bezdin. Shenama, because it says, Ki Pali Mimcha Davar La Mishpat, if something is hidden from you in matter of judgment, so then it goes through the whole process, the way a person is punished and so on. So the Mishnah says like this. Shleisha Bati Dinim Hayusham. In Yerushalayim, there were three big Bati Dinim. Echad Yeshiv al Pesach Harabayis. One sat at the entrance of Harabayis, which again, like today the Kaisel is the wall around Harabayis. So there was one Bezdin that sat there. One stood a higher level of a Bezdin, stood on the entrance of the courtyard of the Beis HaMikdash. And one sat in the Lishchas HaGazos, literally the chamber of the Hunstone, that actually was in the Beis HaMikdash. But the Gemara says in a different place, they made it not as holy because they couldn't sit there. So they made that part of the Beis HaMikdash unholy, that the Bezdin should be able to, that was the big Bezdin of 71. Okay? So he says like this. So now there's an argument between various rabbis, right? Between all the rabbis and this one individual. So they all come to the first Bezdin on Harabayis, and he says, this is the way I learned the halacha, and this is the way my friends learned the halacha. This is the way I taught, this is the way they taught. So im shamu, if the lower court heard tradition from their rabbis, they say, this is the halacha the way it is. We don't care what you say, this is the tradition, whichever one it is. What happens imlav? What happens if the lower Bezdin didn't hear what the halacha is? They came to the next higher Bezdin on the courtyard of the Beis HaMikdash. And they would say again the same thing. This is the way I learned, this is the way my friends learned. Kach limaditi, this is the way I taught, this is the way my friends taught. Im shamu, if that Bezdin, the second Bezdin heard the halacha, they say what the halacha is, and that's it. Vim lav, and if not, so what happens? Those and those go to the big Bezdin. Okay? Meaning, the two courts and the disputants go. It's not a court case. It's one rabbi learning this din, and the other rabbi is learning another din. So they all go to the Lishchas HaGazos. That was the main Bezdin, supreme Bezdin of 71. That's where Torah goes for all the Yidden. Okay? So what's the din? They finally go to the big Bezdin. The big Bezdin never ended up in a doubt. Like the Rambam says in his Akdama, initially, when the Bezdin, when things were in the regular normal times, the big Bezdin existed, there was never a machlekes in halacha. Why wasn't there a machlekes in halacha? Because whatever the halacha is, if nobody knew, they finally went to the big Bezdin. The big Bezdin argued, fought, discussed, and they came to a resolution.
It was never hung.
There's no such thing as a hung Bezdin because in Torah it has to be an odd number. Exactly for that reason. That there shouldn't be a hung Bezdin. In the secular system, you have a hung Bezdin.
There was always a majority.
Always a majority opinion. That's the halacha, finished. Not only that the minority opinion must follow the majority opinion. So bottom line is, this Zakin Mamre, okay, is a guy that disputed the Chachamim. So what happened? They went first to the lower Bezdin to see if there was a ruling. If they didn't know, went to the higher Bezdin, then finally to the ultimate Bezdin. And now what happens? What happens? The Bezdin ruled against this Zakin Mamre, meaning against this rabbi. Now, if the sage now goes back to his city, and he still interprets it not like the big Bezdin said, but like he maintained, Potter, he doesn't get killed yet, because he didn't rule to act on it. He just said, this is what I hold. What happened in Meher is what happens if he paskined what to do based on his interpretation that the big Bezdin says is wrong, then chayiv is chayiv misa. Shenema, because it says in the pasuk, v'isha sheyasa bezodin, if a person will do it willingly, and a chayiv, it says asher yasa bezodin. What does yasa mean? He's going to do it. It has to be in a way that the people, he paskin that this is the way people should act. Until that happens, he's not a Zakin Mamre. And a chayiv sheyera laseis. Okay, then so this is it. So the Gemara defines the definition of a Zakin Mamre. There was an argument between and everybody else. Bottom line, they went to the ultimate Bezdin if they needed to. Bezdin ruled against him. The guy went back to his city and ruled against the big Bezdin. So then he's chayiv chenek.
Zakin Mamre is chashuv enough that if he says something, you have to take it to the bigger court, higher court.
Yeah, he maintained his opinion. Yeah, it's a Zakin. It wasn't Stam.
So
now, what happens? Talmud Shahid Alasis. What happens is the guy didn't have smicha yet. He was only a student, and he ruled against Bezdin. Potter, then he doesn't get killed. Why? Because the Torah does. He has to be a chacham. He says. So he's not deemed a Zakin Mamre because he's not a Zakin yet. He doesn't have the right to paskin. So, and the Mishnah says, interesting, Nimsa Chumrei Kulei. His strictness that he's not a Zakin Mamre is his leniency that he doesn't get killed. In other words, why doesn't he get killed? Because they were strict with him that he's not a Zakin. Because he doesn't have the authority to rule. But this Zakin Mamre has the authority to rule. And he ruled against the big Bezdin, so then he's chayiv misa. Okay.
Knowingly, that he knows.
Knowingly, yeah, willfully. Because obviously they went to the big Bezdin, and they heard what the big Bezdin said. So and he's still paskin against him.
If he's not a Zakin, which means he doesn't have
he's a student, he doesn't have smicha, so that he doesn't get killed.
Even if he went against the Bezdin?
Yeah. Yeah. Because it has to be.
People follow it?
Uh-huh.
He went back to
even if people follow it.
Why?
Because they had no right. Yeah, but the Xeris Kost says it has to be a Zakin Mamre. It has to be.
You see that in the pasuk?
Yeah.
But any Yukul could say something, everybody gets killed then.
Because there's the Ha'ish.
No, but there's a psukim before that speak about the whole thing of the Zakin Mamre. Okay.
But his opinion counts enough to take it to the higher court? If he disagrees?
Yeah.
Just because he has followers? Or?
Yeah, people listen and they want to know what the halacha was. Okay, now it says like this. Tana Rabbanan, that's the Mishnah. Tana Rabbanan, the Rabbanan went like this. It says it's going to be hidden from you something, meaning you don't know the halacha. The Torah is speaking about a recognized member of Bezdin, meaning an ordained scholar. This is the source, by the way. Ki yipale mimcha davar, it has to be mufla. Yipale means actually hidden. But mufla, pella, means wondrous, meaning zoke. Now, it says like this. Be mufla, because medaber. Mimcha, it says ki yipale mimcha from you, that's a yoyetz. One who gives counsel. Because the pasuk we find in pasuk that says also the same expression. That means it's somebody who gives evil counsel. Okay. Now, Why? Because it means like this. Mimcha is yayitz. What's a yayitz? Yayitz, Rashi explains from the other place, whatever. It means guys that can figure out if you make 2 days Rosh Chodesh, if you make a leap year, that's called a yayitz. Okay? So it says like this. Who is a zaken mamre? A guy who is able to figure out, the calculations of the moon and the sun, whether you need to make 2 days of Rosh Chodesh, 1 day, what Rosh Chodesh is. Because the Gemara says like this. Gemara Rosh Hashanah says, they went based on testimony of the witness, right? The guy came to Bezdin and said he saw the moon. Yeah? But first, Bezdin figured out the calculation that the Rambam gives in Kiddush HaChodesh. They figured out if it's possible to see the moon.
Before they sent shluchim?
No. They didn't send shluchim. No, that's afterwards. B'chlau, a person saw the moon. Rosh Chodesh time. They saw the moon. I'm talking pre-calendar. A guy saw the moon. They came to testify in the Beis HaMikdash to the big Bezdin that they saw the moon. First they went to the local Bezdin, then they went up to the big Bezdin. Yeah, because they had to be from the big Bezdin. So they testified they saw the moon. Now, maybe the guy's lying. So first of all, Bezdin figured out if it's possible to see the moon. Then, if Bezdin figured out it's impossible to see the moon, and a guy testifies he saw the moon, Bezdin knew right away he's a liar. Because it can't be. Right? So first Bezdin figured out the calculation. That's what the yoyetz is. Yoyetz means a guy that's able to figure. The Gemara is defining who's a zaken mamre. It can't be a yukol. It has to be a guy in the mufla, mean a zaken. It has to be a guy that's yoyetz. Davad mean halacha, that he knew all the halacha, l'meshim Sinai. Lemishpat, meaning he's able zahadin, which is gzeir shava. Here's the word, there's the word. Ben dam ladam, between the various different bloods. Ben dam nida ladam leda v'dam ziva, whether it's blood of nida or birth, or zava, I'll explain in a second what that is. Ben din ladin, ben din in nefashis, din imamonis, din imakas. He's able to figure out the difference between capital punishment, not capital punishment. Ben nega la nega, he knew all the laws of leprosy. Nega la nega, nigya adam, nigya batim, leprosy of a person, of houses, of garments. Divrei, which is the laws of cherem, meaning vows, erchen vows. Rivais is the din of giving a sight to drink, eglarufa, and leprosy. Bisharecha means zulakish chaper. Meaning like this. The pasuk is defining the din of a zaken mamre. So the Gemara is learning from all these words what the definition of a zaken mamre, that he has to be a choshev a guy.
He knows everything.
Then he knows everything. That's not a Talmud that you call up as we're talking about, and nevertheless, if he goes against Bez, then he gets killed.
And before we said that he has smicha all the way from...
Yeah. Well, that's the definition of all these guys. Now, in the time of the Gemara, it's interesting. The Torah says, "Ben dam ladam, ben din ladin." Years ago, in the time of the Beis HaMikdash, the Chacham were able to look at blood and tell if it was nida or not nida, if it's tamei, it's not tamei. Today, not today.
They also
hundreds and hundreds of years. Red is red. That's it. No good. They were able to figure out if it's nida, if it's tamei, it's not tamei. They were able to.
Now they can't.
No, the Gemara says already they stopped.
Why did they bring the handkerchief to the rabbi then?
To see if it's red.
Only, not the shade of it.
No. Today they bring it to see if it's red or not. But years ago, the Chacham were able to look at red and see if it's red of Tahar or not Tahar. Meaning like this. In the time of, today we don't do it. There's Nida and there's Zava. Okay? Nida, there's an 11-day difference between Nida and the next Nida, and those are called Zava. The whole din in once, you have to keep 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, you have to keep 7 days. In biblical law, Nida, we have today 5 and 7, right? In Nida, they only had a woman who was Nida. When she finished the Nida, she went to the mikveh and that was it.
No Shiva Nikim.
There was no Shiva Nikim. She was Nida. When she finished being a Nida, she went to the mikveh. Then there's Zava. Zava, if she sees blood for 3 days, in the 11 days between Nida and Nida. It was very complicated in those days. But the Chachamim and the people were experts in these dinim. They understood. So that means from when a woman, the first time she's born, from the time she's born, the first time she gets a period is Nida. Then, and that finishes, then you have 11 days. If she sees 1 day in those 11 days, she waits 1 day, goes to the mikveh. If it's 2 days, 2 days, go to the mikveh. 3 days, you have to wait 7 days. So Zava, the whole din of Shiva Nikiyim, the 7 clean days, is by Zava. So the Gemara yet in the time of Rabbi, in the time of the Gemara, because it was so complicated, because you have to start figuring from the time the girl was born, and she saw her first blood, even if she saw the day she was born. Yeah? So then, the din is, it's so complicated, Chacham said, you know what? Nida and Zav are dealing everything the same. So you have the 5 days of Nida, then you have the 7 clean days, and then she'll be able to go to the mikveh. So in the olden times, the Chacham were able to tell the difference. If it was dam of Nida, dam of Zava, dam of a woman giving birth, which also makes her stomach, they were able to tell the difference between capital punishment, what?
Did they have a different cycle length? Because 7 plus 11 is only 18 days. And then you said that the Nida starts right after.
The Zman Nida starts, it doesn't mean...
So the Zman Nida starts then again. It's
the whole,
18 days of
by the way, the whole biological makeup of people today is different.
But they used to have a monthly.
For instance, the Rambam in Shulchan says, years ago, the woman had an exactly set pattern. It was rare that he didn't have a set, what's called a kavua today. Yeah? Years ago, a woman who was nursing never got pregnant. Nursing was the best birth control. In those days, it was impossible for a nursing woman to get pregnant.
Yeah.
Today, it's very common. Nursing women get pregnant. The whole biological system today, very few women have a kavua. I mean, they have, but it's not like Rambam says they'll call Isha. Most women have a. So the whole system, biological system of a person changed.
But the 28 days always was back then as well. It wasn't never 18 days, but for some
No, but there was it was called the time of Nida versus the time of Zava. That was the sort of complicated issue. When a woman saw blood, she didn't know is it 11 days, not 11 days. So therefore, Chmir al Atzmam, Amel Azayd, I think it is, saw Chmir al Atzmam, they all keep it Zava, because Zava is stricter, because you have to wait 7 clean days. In the time of the Beis HaMikdash, a woman was a Nida, she was Nida for whatever it was, she went to mikveh. That's it. Okay, so this is this guy. Okay, then the Gemara continues. The Kamt of Alisa, then it says like this. Then you have to go up to the Beis HaMikdash, right, to find out the halacha. The Kamt of Mibezdin, from the court of your city, but Alisa, you have to go up to the Beis HaMikdash. So the Gemara says, Malamed, Beis HaMikdash, Gavayim Eretz Yisrael, that the Beis HaMikdash was higher than all the other places in Eretz Yisrael. We'll see what that means. Eretz Yisrael Gavaya Mikol Ha'aratzos. And Eretz Yisrael is higher up than the rest of the world. We'll see exactly what this means in a second. Malamed El HaMokim, to the place where the Bezin sat, meaning Sha'Mokim Geirem, the court, the place of the court, the location of the court, the fact that it's in the Beis HaMikdash, that is what makes the person Zakim Mamre. So the Gemara says 1 minute. Bishleim Beis HaMikdash, Gavayim Eretz Yisrael. I understand the Beis HaMikdash is higher than Eretz Yisrael. It says, V'kam Alisa. You go up to the Beis HaMikdash. But the Gemara says, Al Eretz Yisrael Gavayim Mikol Ha'aratzos Minolei. How do we know Eretz Yisrael is higher up, seemingly physically, than the rest of the world? The Beis HaMikdash says you go up to the Beis HaMikdash. How do I know Eretz Yisrael is higher? Because the pasuk says, therefore the days are coming, Hashem says, and they're not going to say anymore, they're not going to say anymore, this is the life of Hashem, meaning they're not going to swear when they make an oath that this is the Hashem that took you out of Mitzrayim. That because when Mashiach comes, how do we make a vow now? The God that took us out of Egypt. When Mashiach comes, they're going to make a vow. The God that took us out of Tzofan and Durham, Beverly Hills. Well, it doesn't say here exactly Beverly Hills, but it means, problems. Where I took you out of, okay, so therefore, what does this show? It says they're going to be brought up to Eretz Yisrael. Okay, now the question they discuss over here, the whole thing, just like this, without any complications. What does it mean? Higher, spiritually higher. Okay, that's the easiest way of learning the pasuk, right? Eretz Yisrael is holier than the rest of the world, and Yerushalayim is holier than okay. But they say like this. The Maharsha explains why is Eretz Yisrael. The fact is, Eretz Yisrael not the highest place in the world, right? There's Mount Everest. It's not the highest place in the world. So the Maharsha says like this, because looking at the world, what's this focal center point of the world? Eretz Yisrael. So if Eretz Yisrael, the world is round, right? So if Eretz Yisrael is the beginning point of the world, and then everything goes around it, so Eretz Yisrael is higher than the rest of the world. So it doesn't mean geographically that it's physically X amount of feet higher. He means Eretz Yisrael is a focal point of the world, and therefore it's on top, and then everything is around. So it's higher.
In fact, the Dead Sea is the lowest place on Earth, biologically, geographically. In terms of,
But the Maharal, that's what the Maharsha says. One second. The Maharal says it means spiritually greater than the rest of the world.
And then the flood never reached Eretz Yisrael. So, the flood of Noah.
Yeah. Not because it was the highest, because of the Kedusha of Eretz Yisrael.
So it's a spiritual...
The Maharsha says physical, because if you count Eretz Yisrael the middle point of the world, and then, so then it's physical. Physical on the globe. Understand?
Because it's in the middle, so you start...
So then everything goes around. Everything goes down.
You could say that from any part.
But because Eretz Yisrael is the purpose of creation, so therefore it starts from there.
And also creation started from that place.
Yeah.
The creation of the universe started from that.
Man.
The universe started from that place in the base of the universe. Correct?
Buy low, sell high.
Right, Shusterman?
What?
The focal point of creation was also...
That's Yisrael. Yeah, that's what Hashem started creating the world.
Creation or the man? Adam was created from the soil of
the place of the Mizbeach.
Yeah, but the whole creation wasn't from there.
The focal point.
Okay. Doesn't it say that the universe started spreading from...
It's very difficult to know the science things, when these things... did the Eibishter create the whole universe the way it is now, as is, or did he create and then become expanding? Okay, so now the Gemara defined the definition of Zokim Mamre. Okay, now the question is, what halacha did he have to make a mistake in, intentionally, that he's called a Zokim Mamre? So Gemara says, Rabban learned. Zokim Mamre ein al davar shes deni karis v'shogas echachas. Zokim Mamre, when he rules against the Chachamim, is only in halacha that if you did it intentionally, you get karis, and if you did it accidentally, you would get the korban chatos. Okay? Give it a Rab Meir. That's what Rab Meir says. Rab Yehuda no. Al davar she'ikra midivrei Torah. It has to be a thing whose essence is stated in the Chumash, but Perushim midivrei Sefer, the Chachamim explain it. Okay? Meaning like this. According to Rab Meir, it's a very limited Zokim Mamre. It has to be an aver that intentionally get chorus, and accidentally you have to bring a korban chatas, which really limits it to certain, like eating on Yom Kippur, Nida, Chametz and Pesach, things like that. Shabbos, If you did it intentionally, you get Kaddish. Now, Yehuda runs it much wider. Anything that says in the Torah and the Chachamim explained. Reb Shimon, amen. Reb Shimon says no, even more. He really broadens it. Afilu diktuk echom diktuk seifim. According to Reb Shimon, if the guy went against one rabbinic law, he's a zakin mamre. It's pretty different than Reb Meir. Reb Meir says there has to be only a sin of Kaddish that you get chatos accidentally. Reb Yehuda says anything basically rooted in the Torah, the Chachamim explain. Reb Shimon says even rabbinic. He gets, right.
But at the time of the Gemara, they didn't do capital punishments. I'm just saying. This is
we're talking, explaining the original halacha.
Theoretically.
First of all, in the time of the Mishnah, not
you're right, that's the Mishnah.
Not Rabbi Yehuda Nasi when he wrote it, but the guys in the Mishnah was capital punishment. Sure it was.
Because they still had the base on the dish.
Yeah. Okay, so now the Gemara says, so there's three opinions. Rab Meir, Rabbi Yehuda, and Rab Shimon. Now the Gemara is going to explain what's the reason why Rab Meir says what he says, Rabbi Yehuda, and so on.
And also, even after the base on the dish is destroyed, I mean, even if there's no capital punishment, we're just explaining the severity of the sin. So even if it's not applicable.
Severity of the sin, even though, like a lot of dinim we learn that are not applicable today. But the Gemara in Saita says, Rav Yosef says, even though we don't have capital punishment, if a guy did an Aved, he's going to fall off a roof. Similar to the punishments that would be given by Bezdin. Okay, so it says like this. My time with Rab Meir, what's Rab Meir's reason? That he says it has to be Kaddish and so on. Gomer David, he learns Gzeir Shava. It says like this. By Zakim Mame it says, Ki Pali Mimcha Davar, the word Davar LaMishpat. It's Siv Hasam, okay? It says, V'nela Me'eni HaKohol. Okay? Over there, the High Court makes a mistake, a ruling. Not the Zakim Mame, the Bezdin makes a mistake. So it says, Ma'ala just like over there, the din is. Davar Shel Deni Kozva Shigas Chatos is Chatos in Chatos. Meaning like this. By Zakim Mame it says Davar, when Bezdin makes a mistake it says Davar. The Gemara knows that Bezdin making a mistake, that's only an Aved of Kaddish. Over there it says Davar, here it says Davar. So Rabbi Meir says, we learn out one thing from the next, and therefore Zakim Mame is only a punishment of Kaddish. Rabbi Yehuda, no, it says it adds more. Al pi ha-Torah she'yerucha, the pasuk says the Torah that they will teach you. That means anything in the Torah is a Zakim Mame. Rab Shimon, why does Rab Shimon say even a rabbinic, then he's also Zakim Mame?
What does that mean at the Torah?
Huh?
Until there is Torah?
Anything in Torah. I mean, anytime there's Torah, that means biblical, he's Zakim Mame. Rab Shimon, who says even rabbinic, so it says in the pasuk afterwards, what does the pasuk say? Anything that the Chachamim will tell you. Right. So that means even rabbinic. So the Meir says it has to be Kaddish because he learned out from a bad mistake of Bezdin, Davar, it has to be Kaddish. Rabbi Yehuda says, the pasuk says, no, anything in the Torah. Rabbi Shimon says, no, the pasuk continues. Anything they tell you, meaning even rabbinic. Yeah, that means even anything, even rabbinic.
Even if it's not written in the Torah and they're
Correct.
just doing it as a spend?
Chanukah, Purim, anything like that would make a guy Zakim Mame.
These were Tanaim?
Sure, Tanaim.
No, I mean, any Zakim Mame was that by definition at the time of the Mishnah defined as a Tana?
No.
Not necessarily.
And nothing to do with being a Tani, I'm sure.
You could be a Zakim Mame and not be a Tana at the time of the Mishnah?
Listen, Akavi ben Malalel had a difference of opinion between a Chum and a certain din. And they offered him to become the head of the Bezdin, and the condition he changes his mind. in his halacha. He said, I'd rather be a fool my whole life than be a rasha my whole life. In other words, what am I here? For honor, I'm going to change the opinion. On his deathbed, his kid came to him, and Akavi ben Malal said like this to him: when I ruled, right, I ruled because I heard it from the majority opinion. You didn't hear it from majority opinion. So you have to listen to everybody else, not to me.
Because that's majority opinion now.
Right. He says, I heard it from majority opinion, that's why I ruled what I ruled. But now, you don't hear it from majority opinion, you only hear it from me.
So, majority opinion.
It's a similar story in a different vein completely.
Majority opinion against him now.
Yeah, so therefore you have to rule it. The Rebbe Rashab, it's a cute thing in a different way. The Rebbe Rashab once told the Friedrich Rebbe something, and he says, I don't want to publicize it because I don't have a source for it. I feel I don't have a source for it. A minute later, the Friedrich Rebbe ran out and publicized it all over the place. So the Rebbe Rashab calls him back and says, I told you I don't have a source for it. I don't want to publicize it. He says, you don't have a source. I have a source. You're my source, huh?
It came from you.
It came from you. It's a source for me. I don't need... Akavi ben Malal was only talking. It's interesting. His son came to him on Akavi ben Malal's deathbed. He was speaking to his son. He said, "Tell your friend." He told Akavi ben Malal, "I told his father, tell your friends to bring me close. You know, to be mekar of me to their." He said, "My friend, my son, your actions will bring you closer, or your actions will distance you. It's not up to me to get you in. Pay $500,000 to get you into Harvard. You know what I mean? It doesn't work like that. You want to get into." You want to get into the loop, your actions, the way you behave, the way you learn, that's what's going to make it.
Did his son also become a Tana?
Someone's a good, yeah, I imagine so.
He's the one that was about Shuvah? His father was in business?
No, that's your brother Ben Hurkinus.
Okay.
Okay, you know what? It's a whole new stuff.